guys, let's do this. What up? It's JoJo on the radio. This is the iHeartRadio Countdown, and I just met him like 5 minutes ago. Fireboy, how you been doing, man?
I've been good. Been on the road, touring. It's been crazy. It's been hectic, but it's been exciting. I'm having fun.
I bet you're like, do you ever forget what city you're in? Like, you travel so much.
Well, this is my first tour, so it's not that bad.
All right, well,
each city I always make memorable times, so like it's difficult for me to forget.
Fireboy, you are from Nigeria, obviously. The pandemic over here, describe your pandemic experience. For me, it's been like, it's sort of like living in a sci-fi movie. Super bizarre, especially early in the whole thing, you know. How has your experience been?
Earlier, it was bizarre for me too, but I pretty much got into, being productive. And I ended up writing my second album, which I dropped in 2020.
Right.
Yeah, and
all years to drop it, right?
Yeah, I was making my album. It made making the album make sense because it got me in my most introspective of moods. So like it was easy for me to like really get into that expressive side of me and like make the album. So it was good for me. I had fun, and I'm a homebody, so like it was just a perfect.
So
time.
For you, like Hank, like being stuck in a room, just writing, that's kind of heaven. I guess.
I do not mind being stuck in a room. So it wasn't really that bad for me, to be honest.
I need an album update. I know Apollo, it's been out. You toured with Apollo. Now you're in, I guess, new album mode?
Yeah,
already?
New album mode, new headspace, new mood, new era. I'm in my Playboy era right now.
Now, clearly you've written a portion of this new album, Playboy, while on tour with Apollo. I mean, like, the title Playboy to me seems like you must have been like, you were locked in a room forever. Now it's just go time. Is that kind of what it is?
Yeah, exactly. But no, yeah, in a way. But it's mostly, most of my life I've been overthinking and closed off. And
dude, me and you both.
So last year was my first trip to the US. And I went to San Francisco and made this amazing song. It just opened up my mind. And I decided to like be more open-minded to life, to more experiences, to more people. And it just got me in that, that mood, that headspace. And that's when I started working on the album. So that's from the song, you could literally hear the playfulness, the vibe, it was basically a leak. The song was a leak in itself. So that just shows you how carefree I've decided to be in this chapter of my life.
That one trip to San Francisco, this new world, so to speak, really just life-changing.
Exactly. I went skydiving.
Shut up.
Trust me. That experience was, bro. The moment I jumped off the plane, the first feeling I felt was regret.
Right. Oh my God.
Like, why are you here?
What are you doing?
But after like 5 seconds, the guy behind me was like, just spread your wings, spread your arms and like enjoy it. I'm like, enjoy what?
Oh my God.
But then I opened my eyes, I'm like, whoa. So it went from being scared to being powerful, to feeling powerful. And that feeling, you can never get it anywhere else.
Okay, I got more questions about this whole skydiving thing later on. Skydiving. You went skydiving. I have to kind of tack on this question. When I skydived one time, and the way I described it was, it's the first time I've ever taken a step and didn't land on something. It was just a drop. I mean, could you ever see yourself doing it again, or was it a one-time, one and done?
Definitely, I would do it again. And I plan to do it again if I have time, because I'm going to San Francisco after my show in LA. I've got San Francisco next, so I'm looking to go back there again and do it again.
I was asking some of the guys.
And I've been preaching the gospel of skydiving. It's an amazing experience. You should try it again.
Well, I was talking to some of the guys. Did you do the tandem thing?
Oh, yeah, it was the tandem thing.
Okay.
I flew from about 13,000 feet.
Jesus, that's crazy.
It was crazy. At some point, I thought, oh, we're close, right? They were like, no, we're only at 2,000 feet. I'm like, what? What?
Oh, my God.
And it got to a point they were like, you can back out now.
Yeah, you're gone now. My God. I was talking to those guys, the instructors, and I asked them, like, how long does it take to fold the chute up? Because they got two chutes, the main one, then the emergency one.
Yeah.
And I said, how long does it take to fold them up? Well, the main one takes them about 5 minutes. What? Okay. I said, how long does it take to fold up the emergency, like the last resort one? They said they take about 2 hours to fold that one up.
Wow.
So, I mean, that's just...
I think you made the mistake of asking too many questions.
Yeah, I think, once again, overthought that whole...
Exactly.
Yeah.
At that point, I wasn't even thinking, man. I was like, let's just do it. Let's do it.
When you first saw that Ed Sheeran slid up in the DMs, I read that you thought, no, this is not real. Give me that whole story there.
Actually, the first thing I got was a call from someone on my team that said, my big bro, rest his soul, Jamal Edwards, sent the song to Ed Sheeran's camp and he loved it. And it was like, in fact, I think he's done his verse and I think you should check your DMs. I'm like, really? And then I checked my DMs. I'm like, what? It sent me messages like hours ago and I was just seeing them and it was like, I love the song. He sent me a snippet of his verse. I heard the verse. I'm like, wow. Not only did he jump on the song, he also like murdered it, like he killed it. And I was really excited. And, we linked up a few days later in New York, shot the video. It was the first time we were meeting so it was, for the first time, it was pretty organic. It was natural. And we had fun at the shoot. It was an amazing experience. Probably my best collaboration so far.
Do you love life on the road? Is it, the rush of the crowd, that's the high, but the low is, packing, unpacking, airport.
Yeah.
What's your overall take on the road?
It's tough work. It has made me really respect, the OGs more. Like they've done this many times. And, this was my first time and I'm seeing how hectic it's been. It's really tough work, but it's exciting, being on the road, performing your music to thousands of fans that you've never met before, in places you've never been before, songs that I wrote in the corner of my room being sung back to me,
that's what I'm getting
millions of people. It's amazing.
You wrote this song alone, like you said, corner of your room, and these people in another country spitting every lyric word for word back to you. That's got to be kind of a mind kind of...
It's crazy. It's a high. You're right. It's a high.
Can anything replace that high? Or do you just have to go back on tour again?
Yes. And getting to create a song from scratch and watching it grow. It's amazing.
You mentioned you met Ed Sheeran when you guys shot the video. I think it's right around Christmas or whatever. Yeah. Last Christmas. Did you guys, do you consider yourself friends? You and Ed friends at this point?
Oh, yes, we're friends. Because it wasn't just a collaboration. It was a proper friendship, that started. We keep up with each other. Once in a while, it sends me a message on Instagram. How you doing? How do you feel about the single? I'm like, this is Ed Sheeran. But I've grown to appreciate the fact that it's just a really down-to-earth person and it's genuine in his relationships with people.
Everybody I've talked to that's worked with Ed, and I've met Ed a bunch of times. He's such a good dude. Everybody has an Ed story. Do you have an Ed Sheeran story?
It was at the shoot. And, he told me, whispered to my head, was like, I feel bad that you had to take out your second verse for my verse because that was my favorite part of the song. And he started singing the song back to me. And it was like, when this goes number one, we're going to go buy a Rolex together. I'm like, yeah.
He better get ready because, get that Rolex, there we go.
I'm just waiting to send him a text like, bro, let's go shopping.
No doubt. Let's do this track, man. Peru. Of course, this version featuring Ed Sheeran. What do people need to know about this track?
Not much. It's a feel-good record. It's a song that you listen to and you don't even want to overthink on anything. The melodies, the lyrics, just sing along. That's why I made the song very easy to sing along to.
I heard. Oh, go ahead.
No, you do your thing.
Oh, I love that. Somebody mentioned that, I think, did somebody initially try to convince you to not put out the version with Ed? And you, of course, overrode that, or is that not a true story at all?
Oh, no, that's not true. The one that I was convinced to put out was the original.
Got it.
It's not that I didn't want to put it out. I just wasn't ready to put it out at the time. I wanted more time to tweak and do some stuff. They were like, nah, it's okay. And in fact, they leaked it behind my back. I woke up to the song on YouTube. I'm like, what? But it's a song I really loved, so I didn't mind.
What a rush,
man. The remix with Ed Sheeran was a brilliant collaboration that I was happy with, and I, in fact, facilitated.
Fireboy, two-part question. What is the biggest crowd you've ever performed for? And the complete flip of that, have you ever been booed?
The biggest crowd I've ever performed, I think is in Zambia, 19,000 people. Apart from when I performed at the O2 with Wizkid to 20,000 people.
Nice.
But that was Wizkid's show, not mine.
Still.
So mine, Zambia, 19,000 people. That was amazing. It was crazy. I've never been booed, but it was terrible. I think it was worse. I was ignored.
What? Okay, give me the story.
And it was like I wasn't even there.
what describe this?
It was a lounge. So I was built to perform there, and the guy just gave me the mic. I was like, "Yo, the DJ's playing your song already. Just perform." And I was just singing, and no one was even paying attention to me, and everyone was just dancing, and I was just there in the crowd, making a fool of myself.
You're like, "What the heck? Take this mic back."
I remember that night. I dropped the mic. In fact, the mic was grabbed from my hand before the song even ended. And like, "Oh yeah, it's 1 minute, just go." And then I went back to the car and I started crying.
That is, now we can laugh about it, but at the time, like,
it was terrible. It was terrible.
Dude,
I don't know which one's better, being booed or being ignored.
That sounds pretty rough. I've heard some bad stories though. Like Calvin Harris, this is one that always gets me. Calvin Harris told me he was on tour with Rihanna back in the day when he had a song with Rihanna out, and he was in France, and he got booed from and he had a song with her.
Wow.
He got booed by Rihanna's fans even when he had a song out with Rihanna.
Oh, wow.
Of course, they're not doing that anymore.
That's crazy.
But it happens to the best of them. You mentioned earlier you're an overthinker. You're a bit of a perfectionist when it comes to songwriting. But God, the overthinking thing, I'm the same way, man. It gets in my head. I just overthink everything, like I'm overthinking this right now. But with Peru, like you said, you threw everything aside. Maybe that trip to San Francisco really did it for you, like you said. Is this the new writing style now? Just putting everything, not taking it so serious?
It's not the new writing style. But I've taken that approach to life. I'm always going to be an overthinker as a songwriter. But I've taken that carefree attitude to life. Life is not that deep. So
right.
My relationships with people, my relationships with experiences too. Like I'm always like closed off. Oh, let's go to this club. Like nah, But now I'm like, let's do it. Sure, let's do it. I'm always open to new ideas and stuff. So yeah, I'm still that perfectionist as a songwriter. I always will be.
Okay, we always talk about the downside of overthinking, but is there a positive side to overthinking?
Oh yes,
you and I are very thorough. I'm guessing.
Oftentimes, it gets you the best results. To be honest, And for me, there's no song of mine that you can criticize, because whatever you have to say about that song, I already know.
That's hilarious.
So it never gets to me.
Fireboy, we just met. You don't know this about me, but I'm obsessed with the paranormal, ghost, UFOs,
wow,
all that stuff in between. I've got a podcast called Paranormalish. I'm clearly off the deep end. People that know me know this about me. It's an obsession. Have you ever had a paranormal encounter of any kind?
I don't think so, but maybe it's in my head. But yeah, I think there was a time when I was a kid. I think I was like 12, 13. I genuinely thought I had a conversation with death itself.
With death, as in,
yes.
No kidding. Now, what made you think that?
I was a weird kid growing up. So I spent most of my time alone. So I would just, at 2, 3 a.m. in the morning, early in the morning, I would just, get out of my room, go somewhere in the backyard and just have a conversation with death.
Now I got to know, what was death nice?
Yeah, it was cool, guy. It was cool. I was like, you're going to tell me when I'm going to die, right? I'm like, nice try. It was a weird conversation. I don't know why, but it was fun for like a couple of weeks. But then I think I got over it.
Okay, a follow-up question. And everybody's turned me down. I was even talking to Kygo and Joe Jonas a couple of days ago. They turned me down. Next tour, you'll be, booking hotels, and you're going to come across some hotels. I'm talking super nice hotels, but they have a history, and there's generally a haunted room in, a couple of these hotels. If you would you request the haunted room, stay in it, and film anything that happens and kind of give me a report back on, like the Fireboy report? Here's what happened. Would you be down to stay in one of those haunted rooms?
As a proud African, no.
Here's where he says no.
I would not do that.
I don't even mark you off the list on that one. He's not doing it either. Perfect. Nobody's doing this.
Nobody's doing it.
Nobody.
Maybe you're the problem.
Maybe I am clearly the problem. Is it true you almost didn't release Peru? I mean, like, because I hear these stories all the time. Like the song that's the biggest song is like this close to getting cut, or I'm not going to put it on this, and somebody convinces you to put it out, and it becomes the greatest thing ever. Is that what happened?
Yeah, like I said, I wasn't ready to put it out. It's not like I did not want to. I knew it was a great song. It's very catchy hook and stuff, but I wasn't ready. I wanted to tweak things. I wanted like a couple weeks, maybe a month. And I'm very sure if I had delayed one more day, we would not be here today.
Really?
Yeah, I'm sure.
now, you put it down or somebody else? You said somebody kind of leaked it.
Olamide, my boss, leaked the song.
I think he leaked it because he knew it was great.
Yeah, he knew.
And he knew you would.
Yeah, he knew I'm an overthinker. And we're always having issues with that. He doesn't like the fact that I'm an overthinker. So like, you know what? I'm going to do this behind you. Like, okay, it's fine. So yeah, he leaked the song and, we're here today. It's amazing. It's crazy. I'm glad he did.
I'm glad he did too. I mean, now for future tracks, do you think he'll do the same thing if he senses you're overthinking?
If I post problems, he probably will do it again.
Are you okay with that?
No, I'm not.
All right, let me just send him a quick note. He is not happy with it. Fireboy, what is the weirdest place you've been asked for a selfie? I'm sure your fans love you. They mean no harm, but every now and then you're like, wait, why here?
It was in the bathroom.
Always the bathroom. It always, man.
I'm like, bro, come on.
So, describe what happened. Did he get the pic or what?
He did not. Like 6, 7 half naked men in the room, and you're asking for a picture. What's going on? Actually, it was my manager that told him off, and I couldn't say anything. I was just like, it was weird, man.
It's sort of like you would think it'd be like an unwritten rule,
right?
But every time I ask it, probably 7 out of 10 times in the bathroom.
Yeah, it's always in a weird.
All right. New rule: no bathroom selfies. Good Lord. Fireboy, your family, your friends, that inner circle, what's their reaction to all this success that's going on right now?
At some point, I thought they were going to be overwhelmed, but they're actually handling it quite well.
They're like, it's kind of what he does.
Yeah. Really supportive. Always. They're my biggest fans. They're always supportive. Always. It's always a vibe. But most importantly, they don't make me feel like the superstar that I am when I'm with them, and I think that's a good thing. They
just keep you in check, talk trash like they always did, kind of a thing.
Yeah, not really, but there's still that little reverence, which is weird, that never used to be there when I wasn't famous. But it's family. With family, you they see you for who you are.
Right.
They see you for that little kid that they've always known. So it's always a vibe when I'm with my parents or with my brothers. It's amazing. I love my family a lot.
Same question to you. What's your reaction to all this?
I'm just glad that I have supportive parents. They were not supportive at the start.
Or what were they like? Get a real job.
Not that bad. But maybe they were. I won't say they were not really happy with the way with what I was doing at the time, because I was supposed to be like this. I was a straight A student. Like I was given vibes of scholar and stuff, and I just suddenly started doing music. So they were not really happy with it. But when they saw that I knew what I was doing, they came around.
Yeah, I heard that when you were in college, you like when music hit, everything you were blind to everything else.
I was blind to everything, like every single
relationships,
thing, every single thing. I was in the studio 247. I wasn't even recording I wasn't even making music at the time. I was cleaning up the studio, going to get food for the artists, cleaning up the studio and stuff. I was the studio rat. They called it the studio rat in that time. I was always in the studio, writing songs for the artists and doing stuff. I was just really happy to be in that environment.
You're obsessed with it.
It was obsession.
And you have to be obsessed to do what you do.
Exactly.
What am I forgetting to ask you?
This year means for Afrobeats.
What does this year mean for Afrobeats, Fireboy?
This year is the year that everything comes to fruition. This is the year that everything starts to make sense. We've been seeing the signs from 2016, 17, 2021. It kind of like seemed like, it's a wave. But no, it's not just a wave. It's an emergence of, a big emergence of something that has been coming up over the years. It's more than a genre. Like, it's a culture. Afrobeat is like hip-hop. Hip-hop is more than just a genre of music. It's a full culture. And, it's taking a whole generation with it. And that's what Afrobeat is about to do. Not just in Africa, not just in Europe, not just in America, all over the world. And it's a joy to be a part of it.
Fireboy, it's a pleasure to meet you, man.
Yes, sir. Same here, man. Thanks for having me.
At the end of every countdown, fist bump to make it official. Give me a love.
Yes.
Bam.